Hey, good morning, everyone. We're going to start here in just under a minute. I just want to make sure that you can hear me before we get started. We're going to do a couple of these polls during the class today. It's just a really quick way for me to know what's going on and make sure that you're staying engaged. So if you should be able to hear me, it looks like most of you can. There's a few of you that can't. So I would go ahead and check your settings on your computer, make sure that you have your volume turned up, that you don't have me muted, and that your volume is turned up. I did have a couple people last week who had to jump off and then jump back on to the webinar. So make sure that you can hear me. We're going to be starting actually right now. So we're going to go ahead and jump into everything. It looks like most people can hear me. If you can't hear me, again, you may need to log out and log back in because it looks like the volume on my side is working. So good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. We are going to walk through how to edit your website today, and I've uploaded a PowerPoint here. This will go out to you afterwards. It's just a quick kind of little tutorial on a few things that we're going to process today, but I'm going to take you through everything live. I do want to just mention a few things before we begin. The first thing is that these webinars go quickly. I want to make sure that I'm bringing enough value to your time. The goal is that you can see the whole overview of how something is done, and then it is recorded. You will get a video of the recording. It will also go on our Facebook and our YouTube channel, and so you will be able to re-access the video and watch it again and go through and actually edit your site as you go. But I want to make sure that in the hour we have together, you're getting all the information you need and at least know where to even begin, and you know a little bit more about what you don't know. So without further ado, I'm going to jump in and I am going to share. So you should be able to see my screen now, and we're going to go through editing your web page. So to begin editing your web page, you need to go to your site. So I know we've got some office admin on the webinar. I also know that we have a lot of agents on the call, and I want to make sure you all know where to go. So if you are a company admin, you are going to go to your company website, whatever that is. If you are an agent, you are going to go to your agent website. It is probably your IQ username dot yourcompanywebsite.com. So my website would be kelsey.iqre.co for an example, but yours is going to be your IQ username.yourcompany.com. And once you're on that site, you're going to scroll all the way to the very bottom of your site. When you're there, you're going to see something called IQ Web Login, and you will also see IQ Office Login. If you click IQ Office Login, it's going to take you to your IQ Office. If you click IQ Web Login, it's going to take you to your website login. This is how I remember the difference between the two. Your IQ Office login is like the back of the house. So it's like the kitchen at a restaurant. It's where everybody works. It's where you manage your tickets. It's where you manage your schedule. It's where you get the work done. And your IQ website is like the front side of the restaurant. It's where people come to eat. They sit down and they have a good experience. So we're going to be editing that web login. And you're going to click that web login, and then you're going to enter your username and password and click login. When you do that, it's going to process, and at the top of the screen, you're going to get a black bar that says IQ Web Editor. That is how you know that you are in edit mode. So everybody with me so far? I want to encourage you to ask questions as we go along. There's no questions yet, so that is really good. I just do want to ask a quick question. How many of you are using your IQ website? So there is a poll. So there's a few of you that are using. Awesome. Some of you aren't. Some of you are. Awesome, good. So it is getting used. So this is a great tool for you. It links through to your MLS. Your clients can actually log in and use their portal. You can create landing pages. You can do a lot with this. So that's really exciting. How many of you actually know what a landing page is? So do you know what a landing page is? So a few do, some don't. Okay. So we're going to go through that today. It's about 50-50. A landing page is a lead page. So it's a page where you share it on your social media or in your print advertising, and people go there and they have to register before they can see the content. So we are going to talk a little bit about a landing page today. It's a great tool to be able to go out and promote certain listings or certain price points and actually hopefully capture some leads for you. So we're going to go through that as well. We're going to go ahead, and after you log in, if you've never logged in before, and it looks like most of you are using your website, so I'm going to go through this first part fairly quickly. But where you want to begin is this design portion. And when you click and open that design portion, this is where you can actually choose your layout. So there are several different layouts to choose from, 31 to be exact. There's a few that have been taken out. And you can click and you can see the designs. You also will see a bulleted list of everything that design includes. So 6 scrolling header images. This one has 4 panels. This one has 6 scrolling images. And you can spend some time here and actually choose the layout that you really like. It depends on what you get. Like this one has 1 header image, but it also has an option for a video on homepage. So you can really take your time and decide what you like. As you're looking at your designs, do not fret if you don't like these photos. Like if I look at this and I say, well, it's got 3 of the same photos here, I don't like that. That's something that you can change. So we're going to go through all of that. Once you decide on the design and the color scheme that you want to use, you go ahead and click Use this design. And that's going to automatically load that design. So I can see here, here's all the call outs. Here's those 4 boxes. This is what it looks like and that side of things. So now I can actually go in and start editing this layout. And to begin that, I click on this Edit Page button in the upper right-hand corner. And so when I do that, it actually is going to show little pencils over everything that I can share. And anything that shows one of these gray pencils is something that I can edit. So I can edit all of this information if I don't like it. I'm going to start by just showing you how to change an image. And I'm going to also let you know that changing images is very similar for all 3 of these areas. I click on Edit Image. I choose the slide that I want to change. And then I can either go in and I can choose images from my library, or I can go into the Realistic IQ image library and I can filter by different header images that they have. So I can actually go in and I can say, hey, I would like more web images on, let's do Tyler, Texas. And it's going to pull up the images for Tyler, Texas. And I'm going to say, wow, this is a beautiful golf course. And I'm going to enter that. I also can say, do I want properties for sale or for lease? If I want to have a minimum listing price, I can say, hey, I want to show properties with a minimum of $150. Once I go through all the slides, I can change each individual slide. I'm going to click OK at the bottom. I also just want to show you quickly, if you decide that you would like a video as your header image, you simply choose the video option. And then again, you use that blue change button to open the video library. And you can see all the available videos. I personally really like this one. I think this captures what it's like to go into a new home that you're really excited about. And you can also change the brightness. So you can say, hey, how bright do you want it? I'm going to click that OK button, and it's going to automatically insert it in. Please notice this green Save button in the upper right-hand corner. If you see the green Save button, you need to click it. There is nothing in the whole world that is more frustrating than doing all of this editing and then not hitting the green save button and having your computer close out, or you walk away, or you accidentally close the tab out and you lose all your work. That's frustrating for all of us. So if you see the green save button, please hit the green save button. Changing these tabs and changing these panels works very similarly. I'm going to go ahead and just show you how that works. So you click edit, and then I can see call out 1, call out 2, call out 3. Again, that blue change image. The difference is you can choose where this link goes. So you can say, hey, I want this call out number 2 saying, hey, real estate advice, that's great, but I don't like this photo. I want to change it to an actual, let's say, real estate photo. And I'm going to choose this one. Okay. And you can change each of those panels. Again, I'm clicking that green save button. If you want to change the link to where that goes, I'm actually going to do it in a different one. So I'm editing these panels, and if I say, hey, on panel 4, I don't want this to go to our realtors. I actually want this to be an about me. And then I can select my link. I can say, hey, I'm going to go to my custom page, and it's going to go to my areas. Or you can go to your IQ page, and underneath this, it's going to, underneath the other, there's going to be my agent profile. This is a company page that I'm editing, so obviously I can't link this to just one agent profile. You will not have the option to link it to agents or offices. I push OK. I'm going to actually change the link. And I'm going to click OK. Again, anytime that green save button is there, I'm going to click OK. So everybody doing OK so far? Kelly, I have not changed slides. You should actually see my screen share. So that's, you should be seeing my screen that I'm sharing now. So the next thing I want to just quickly go through, we're about 12 minutes in. I want to make sure we save some time at the end for question and answers, and I am going to just quickly go through all those slides, is actually going in and creating a page. So you can create your own custom pages, and if you would like, you can then link them to these areas. So you would go to pages, and then you can click on create new page. And there are 2 types of pages. The first type of page that you can have is called a static page. And that means that the information on that page does not change unless you go in and you manually update it. So I could have a page that was focused on why I got into real estate, or a little bit about the area that I live in, or perhaps a page that had links to school district or my vendors, information that doesn't update on a regular basis, that is information that is great but doesn't need to be updated on a daily basis, is what you would use a static page for. You would choose one of these top templates for that. So all of these top 16 templates are static information. This template 12 would be great for my sold listings, or information about different neighborhoods, things like that. Dynamic pages are pages that automatically pull from your MLS or from another source. If you're an office admin and you're doing an agent's template, it's pulling from your agent roster. And that is automatically updating for you. So you set it and forget it. Isn't there, I think there's an infomercial that used to say that. You set it and forget it. So I'm going to do this areas template 2 just to show you what it looks like. Whether you're editing a dynamic page or a static page, the process is very similar. And so I'm not going to go through both because once you select the page, the only difference is this one will automatically update and this one will not. So then once I choose my page, I'm going to click next. The next page that I'm going to see is an information about the page. So I'm going to name the page. I'm going to call this page New Listings to the Market. I'm then going to give the title of the page. And so I'm going to call this Hot New Listings. And then I'm going to give it a description. When you are writing the description of your page, you should keep keywords in mind. Keywords are things that the internet uses to figure out what your page is about without having to read your entire page. So I would write, looking for a new home in the Las Vegas area. The market right now is a great seller's market. However, there are buyers that are ready to go. Search what's new to the market in the last 7 days, actively for sale from the MLS. And I would type that all into my description, and then I would go to my next. If you are an agent, you will not see this make global pages. If you are an office administrator, this global pages means, do you want this to be a page that all the agents in your office can have access to link to? Yes or no? You choose. Registration. So when we were talking just a little bit ago about do you know what a landing page is? We were actually talking about this registration feature. So if you want it to be a landing page that you are using in your marketing, you're going to choose yes, because you want people to have to register to see the information on the page. Now, a couple things about this. You do not want to force people off your page. So you do not want everything on your page to be something they have to register for. People live in a land where they get information all the time and they want to have information at their fingertips. So if you're asking them to register, you need to make sure that you're giving them valuable information, one, and two, that they want to register for what you're putting out there, because if they don't, you're never going to get people to click through, or they're going to go somewhere else. They're going to go to Zillow, they're going to go to your company page, they're going to go to realtor.com, they're going to go somewhere else for the same information. So please be very conscious when you're setting this up about what kind of registration it is and if the information on the other side of it is valuable. For that reason, I love the offer registration. I also love the option that you can do only with pay-per-click. So your IQ website is smart enough to know that if you're paying for advertising, it's going to ask people to register. But if people are already on your page and clicking on a link on your page, it's not going to ask them. I think that's a great feature, because then if I'm paying for advertising, I'm getting a return. But if I send my sister to my website to look at properties, I'm not asking her to register to see the new listings. Then you choose on what visit do you want them to actually go in and have to register. We live in a land of consistent scrolling. People don't come back to your posts. They scroll, scroll, scroll. The average Facebook user is on each session for 20 minutes. And it is very rare that we all go back to find something, especially an advertisement for real estate. So I suggest doing this on the first visit. And then you need to choose your lead source. So I'm going to say, hey, this is a website contact form, or this is a marketing property, or it's whatever that lead source is. These all look different depending on what your company has set up. But make sure that you choose a source so that when that lead text or email or phone call comes through, you know that it's from this page. Your next choice on this page is to create meta tags. I'm going to just do a little poll really quick to see how many, so get ready to answer, how many know what a meta tag is? Here we go. So we're starting that poll. So how many of you know what a meta tag is? Go ahead and vote. You should see that poll. So meta tags. Awesome. So if you didn't learn anything else, you're going to learn what a meta tag is today. 37 people have answered. So there are 67 of you on the call. I would love to hear from all of you. We've got about 20 people who haven't voted yet. Participation is key, for me at least. So most people don't know what it is. For those of you that do, awesome. For those of you that don't, technology is a beast and you're never going to know it all. But this is, in a nutshell, what a meta tag is. So remember when we used to go to the library and there were card catalogs? And you had to know, like there was a reference section and a children's section and a nonfiction section and a fiction section. And then within the sections, there were subsections. A meta tag is essentially the way that the internet creates those different categories. So it says, okay, well, this is a reference section, and in that reference section, it's in the encyclopedia, and in the encyclopedia, it's in the natural selection section. So when you're adding meta tags, it's how the internet is categorizing your page content based on the information that you're tagging in it. That is a very simplified version of it, but essentially what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add tags like real estate for sale in your market, homes for sale in my market, active listings from MLS in my market, things like that, so that the internet knows what this page is about. It helps it categorize the information so that consumers get relevant results in their searches. If you do not want to add meta tags, you do not have to. You just leave this as I do not wish to add them at this time. You can always go back and add them. If you'd like to add them, make sure you change that checkbox and then you fill in your meta tag values. The same thing below, you can attach this to menus if you would like, or you can say, hey, I don't want to add it to menus at this time, and you can always go back in and add it to menus. So the next piece of this is clicking OK. Once you click OK, if you have an error, it's not going to let you off that screen. So if you're stuck on that screen, it means that you have something in your title or your description that it can't read or process. Scroll up, look at what you've entered in, and edit it, and then click OK. The page will then automatically generate. Now I'm in my page, hot new listings. I can see up here, new listings to the market, and I'm going to click again that white edit page, and anything that I want to edit shows up with that same pencil. So I can go in and I can add a header image. Again, choosing from my photos or from the stock photos that Realistic provides. Clicking the green save button as I go along. Also, notice that the text on this page is in Latin. The reason for that is if we wrote something that was really nice and user-friendly and very generic, you would never go in and change it and make it your own. But if it's in Latin, you will. So to change that, you simply click on the edit screen, and then you can actually just highlight and you can type your text here. You can go in then, you can highlight your text, you can change the format, font, or size, you can highlight it, you can change the color, you can insert photos from your image library or from your Realistic images. I can say, hey, I actually want to add this. Maybe I want to add this image. It makes it huge. You can go in and you can actually change the size of that image. There's little squares in the corner. So you can resize your images. You choose. You also can not put anything in here. So if you don't want any text, just delete it out, push OK, and click Save. What that does is it makes the listing section of the page move up so that you can then edit your listings. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to do that. I click, that's the wrong button. I click on the pencil over the listings. And now I can actually type in the areas. So I can say, hey, I want it to be in Elko, and I can add multiple areas. You just type it in and click on them. You then can say, hey, I only want residential listings, or I only want commercial listings, or I only want multifamily, or I want them all. You choose what that looks like. You also choose if you want your company listings to be first, yes or no. If I were a company, I would say yes. If I were an agent, I would probably say no. Just because as an agent, I want to keep people on my page, and as a company, I want to promote my agents and my company listings. That, though, again, is personal preference. And then you set your parameters. So we said that this was going to be a new listings page. So I'm going to say, hey, I want new listings within 7 days. I'm actually not going to do that because this is a demo site, so there's not very many listings in the site. But you can say, hey, I want new listings with a price min of this and a price max of this. So you can make a first-time buyer page, and based on what your market data says for what entry-level homes are, you could make a first-time home buyer page that only showed things that were in that typical first-time home buyer price range. You could make a page that was just about open houses. You could make a page that was just about new listings. And then you also want to make sure you choose how many properties you want to show. I want to show 30 properties per page. Again, that green save button shows up, so I click save. And now it's going to show all those properties. Right now, remember when we set this up, we did not link it to a menu. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and link it to a menu. Yeah, so there's a question that says, are these listings being pulled off MLS? They are. So all your listings that are on your IQ webpage are all automatically being pulled from your MLS every 5 minutes or so. And then they are refreshed every night. So it's everything that's on your MLS. Dave, there's a question that says, can we add another criteria so that it only shows 55 plus or senior housing options? I would check out the other types of page, the other listing pages. The other thing you might be able to do in this edit is if there's a community that you know is 55 plus, you could just type the name of the communities. So I think that's area. When I typed in Elko, did you see where it said community name? So if you know the community name, Dave, you could just put all your 55 plus communities in. Is there a way that you can make only your listings appear? That is a really good question, and not on this layout. I don't believe that is a possibility. You can do that on your home page, though. Let me come back to that question to show you how to do that. So the last thing I just want to show you is, one, how do you get back to this once you go home? And if you want to attach it to a menu, how do you do that? So I'm going to go to the home page just really quickly. And so if I'm on my home page right now, this page that we created is not linked to any of this menu. So I can actually go in and I can either go to my menus tab, or I can click on the menu that I want to edit, and I can add that page. To do that, I select the portion of the header that I would like to add it to. I go to custom pages and I slink through and I say, okay, new listings, and I say hot new listings. I make sure that it's on the submenu that I want, and I can say add to menu. And now it's listed on that page. I click save. I can see now underneath browse property that it's linked. If you go up into the menus tab, it works very similarly. You choose the menu that you would like to edit. You can go in and you can remove something by simply clicking the trash can next to that and click save. So that is how you create a custom page. If it is not linked and you don't want it to be linked, what you'll want to do to get back to that page is you'll click on your pages, and then you would go to that page and you could click edit, and it will bring that page up. What I suggest doing is bookmarking that page so that you just have a one click to that page, and then you know where it is and it's easy peasy. So, Colin, that's a great question. So if you do it by neighborhood, yes, you can also limit it by city as well. And that, I'm going to show you that there's different pages that have different criteria really quick so that you can all see that. I'm going to go in and just quick show you. So if you go into pages, and I'm going to click through this very fast, so please don't get frustrated. I just want to show you the difference. So I went in, and remember I chose this area as templates. It's worth going in and seeing what the other templates do. So I'm just going to quick do this so that you can see. So here is this. I'm going to hit click edit page, and I'm going to change my listings. Wrong button. So here I can actually choose location. And I can only choose one. But I can also say, hey, I want a subtype of resale, so it's not new construction. So every one of those different listing pages have a little bit different layout and a little bit different style here. I would suggest going in and playing with the system. So I just want to quick really encourage you all. These webinars are awesome, and it's great information that I hope you really value. But if you don't put a time and day on your calendar to actually go in and practice this after the fact, and choose some timing and choose some edit time and practice time, you never will. You'll never come back to it. You'll get so busy doing your business that you'll forget about this side of things. So I really encourage you all to do that. And I'm going to encourage you to get your calendars out right now and put a day and time on your calendar to edit your website after this. It might be right after this. It might be tomorrow. It might be once every other week, you're going to get in and do it. And so if you're not doing that, you'll never come back and edit your site. I highly recommend that you are updating your site at least once a month. We live in a very visual community now. Think about how often you're updating things on your Facebook or your Instagram, or texting your family photos of your kids and things like that. You should be updating your page at least once a month. And what I mean by that is not going in and changing all the content. What I mean by that is perhaps you're just on your homepage and all you're doing is updating that header image so that it reflects seasonally what's going on. So I can say, hey, this has been my image for a while, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to change my video to something that is a little bit more springy, because we're all thinking about spring instead of winter right now. And I update that header image, or I make sure that my photo's up to date, or I update my bio page, just so that your content is updated and accurate. It's super important. So we were going to talk about displaying just your listings. So there is a way that you can do that. And I need to just think really quickly, because I know that you can do it, but I don't know if you can do it in this template. I believe you go here and listings. So you can feature just a listing. There's that community side. So if your company has created communities, you can link it to a community page. And I want to say that it's only under the agent page. So let me just pull up a different website really quick to show you, because I do think you can do that. I also want to encourage you that the only people who are not frustrated with technology are the people that are not using it. And it's impossible to know everything after one go through. When you get frustrated with technology, get up, walk away, have a cup of tea, go do something, call your friends, call your sphere, walk away from it for a while, and then come back, because technology is frustrating as it is, let alone without going in and trying to do it frustrated only makes it worse. So let me log in here because I do think you can do this. I think it depends on what layout you have. So I think you can go in here and I can actually select. Yep, so you would just select the page that says My Listings. So did everybody see how I got there? I went really fast because I needed to know. So I went into the section, I said, okay, I want to change one of these links. So this one says open house, and then it says new listings, and then it says luxury properties. And let's say I want this new listings to just show my listings. All I do is I go, hey, my listings, I choose the IQ link, I go to IQ pages, and I go to my listings. And then I click okay, and then okay, and then that's where that link goes. Did that answer your question? Carly asked that question. Did that answer your question, Carly? Awesome. There's a couple people who have asked if this is being recorded, and I just want to again remind you, we talked about that right at the beginning. It is being recorded. You will get a copy of the webinar. It also will be posted on our Facebook and YouTube channel. So what I would really like to do really quickly is I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm just going to walk you through this again. So when you go to your website, you're going to click on that IQ web login at the bottom of the page. From there, you're going to go in and you're going to choose your design and actually choose the layout that you like. After you choose your template design, you're going to go in and you can edit the text, the photos, all of that information. You can also create custom pages. They can either be dynamic or static, and you can always add additional pages. You can edit them after the fact. You can link them to menus. You can upload your own images. You can use the IQ stock photos for all of that, and you can also add menu tabs. This is just a real quick layout of everything. Again, that last piece is please hit that green save button whenever you see it. If you don't take anything away from this, besides I'm going to go in, I'm going to change a few things, I'm going to remember to save my website, it will be very beneficial. Other questions? So that is everything I have to do. We have been on this call for about 37 minutes. I want to make sure that I am valuing your time. So I am open for questions from all of you. I do want to, if you have another place to be and you have things to do, I want to give you the option to do that and just encourage you that before you leave wherever you are watching this webinar, that you write on your calendar a time and place that you're going to log in and edit your website. I think it's very important that you schedule your time so that you don't miss it and that you hold yourself accountable to that calendar. And now I'm here to answer all questions and go back through things. So there's a question that says, do all designs allow for moving header images? That's the first I've seen that. No, they don't all allow for header images. Some of them do, some of them don't. And where you go to find that out is you can actually just scroll through the designs and it will list that as a bulleted option. So I can actually go in and I can, right here, it will say there's an option for a video page header. So like here, this one does not have that option. And that's where you can tell to do that. If you want to feature your own listings on your homepage, can we go through that again? Absolutely, you can. So let's say I'm on this page and I want to change one of these panels. So I'm going to say, oh, I have to do it on an actual agent page. Whoop. So I'm going to just quick log in here again. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to scroll down, I'm going to say, hey, I want to edit one of these items. I click on the edit screen. I go to select IQ link, IQ pages, and then there's a page that says my listings. And when you click that, then you can link through to your listings page. Colin, I'm going to get back to you on that because I know that you can do that, and it might be something that is specifically set up for Apex. Let me get back to you on a one-on-one basis for that. Can I just shoot you a Facebook message? Other questions? You all are so great. Oh, here, there are some questions. Oh yeah, Susan, let's go through what the YouTube and the Facebook are called. And Luis, did you just, did that make sense about how to go through and see only your listings? So Susan, the Facebook page is underneath the name Realistic Users. Let me pull it up and I will share that page. Just one moment. Project to everyone. So here's the question, and I think I can add a reply. Oh, perfect. Good. I want to add a reply. So reply to everyone. Oh, nope, it doesn't let me do that. So you should be able to, in the question section, everybody should be able to see the Facebook link answer. And I'm going to the YouTube right now to paste that link in there. It's REALISTIQ. And if you type that in, you should be able to see it. I also do want to really encourage you all. The more you come to these, the easier it gets. And it makes it so the first time you don't know what you don't know, and the second time you know you've been in and you know what questions you have and you know what you need to learn more about and what's going on. And I am more than willing to answer questions. We have several webinars coming up. They're always Monday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And we try to spend between 45 minutes and an hour going through things. And so I do want to just encourage you to be comfortable asking questions. You can always ask questions on the Facebook page as well. So you can ask on Facebook, you can ask on YouTube, you can ask during the webinars. We are here to help you build your business. Awesome, Rachel. Thank you so much. And Patty, absolutely. I will, Dave. I'll message both of Colin and Dave. I'll message you the answer to that. I just want to make sure I'm giving you the right answer. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. And if you have other things to go do, I want to make sure that you are getting on with your day and going out and actually doing. This is a great time. If you've blocked out an hour, you've got about 18 minutes to log in and play a little bit, see how it works, see what you don't know. You will absolutely get a copy of this in your email as soon as it's finished processing. And you also will get, it will also be posted on Facebook and on YouTube. Awesome, y'all. Well, if there are no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar. Thank you all for making it today. I really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Amy, the next topic is next Monday. It's 8 a.m. Pacific time. And next Monday, the February 4th, we're going to do an overview of the marketing tools. So marketing tools overview is what's next Monday. Awesome. I hope you all have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.